Thought I was going to be late, didn't you? Well, I am late. I'm a minute late. It is Kabbalah. It is Kabbalah Thursday. What is Kabbalah Thursday? I just made it up because it's Thursday. It's Thursday, and we're going to be. I am moved today to talk about duality, and but first, and I'm going to read from a couple of my texts here concerning this point. And because it is hooked up with Kabbalah and the Kabbalists' view of how existence came into existence and how being came into being. And of course, they do that through numbers, and the numbers are expressed through the Hebrew alphabet and things like that. So that's why Kabbalists, or at least Hermetic Kabbalists, are so enamored with playing with the Hebrew alphabet. But I want to say first of all that there is a difference between orthodox, very secular Kabbalah as the esoteric science and tradition of Judaism, and Hermetic Kabbalah, or Kabbalah that is used in a non-sectarian, non-religious way by magicians and mystics who aren't attached to any particular religion. And that became publicly popular starting in the mid 1800s, and before that it had been an esoteric study among alchemists and Rosicrucians and things like that for a few hundred years. But the adepts of the Golden Dawn really started to take it seriously and apply it as a transformational discipline, a transformational spiritual practice, because it's wonderful. But that leaves us with all sorts of different Kabbalistic traditions, and the question always arises, well, which one is correct? Well, I'm here to tell you that they're all correct and they're all wrong at the same time. They're all correct in their own self-referential way. So as long as you're not trying to go too far out of your way to have one system perfectly describe another system, then you're going to get in trouble. The foundational texts of traditional Hebrew Kabbalah are very old. Even in the most ancient manuscripts are copies. Even the most ancient manuscripts are copies of copies of copies of orally transmitted teachings. Scholars unanimously agree that even the most venerable works are fragmented and corrupted. Non-secular Kabbalists, which I include myself among that category, of the 19th century, particularly the scholars and adepts of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, really saw what they perceived to be palpable flaws in basic Hermetic logic, in the manner that fragments of some of these conflicting texts and how they were pieced together. To their hermetically trained eyes, it was obvious where basic repairs could and should be made within the various extant versions of primary texts, especially the Sefer Yetzirah. Okay, that Sefer Yetzirah is that tiny little, gorgeous little masterpiece, that jewel of mystical thought. It's very, very, very short, but it's the foundation of how creation came out of the Hebrew alphabet and how that's associated with numbers and how those numbers are correspond to absolutely everything in heaven and earth, is connected to everything else in heaven and earth by means of these correspondences. And the Sefer Yetzirah, tiny little book, first laid it out. Sefer Yetzirah is arguably the oldest overtly Kabbalistic texts remaining. But the Golden Dawn saw certain obvious inconsistencies within the text that just a little bit of tinkering would bring into hermetically logical sync. The primary text, especially Sefer Yetzirah, the book on creation, the Golden Dawn adjustments are, for the most part, evident and necessary corrections and conform with 1,000 years of Hermetic thought, including astrology and alchemical systems. They mercifully allow the student to initially embark on the Kabbalistic seas with a few recognizable and comforting landmarks on the horizon. A Golden Dawn Kabbalah workbook was eventually annotated and published by Aleister Crowley, and we can get that today. Well, this one was 30, 40 years old, but it's called 777, now published and available everywhere. It's a massive collection of tables of Kabbalistic correspondences that organize the Kabbalistic, magical, and mythological universe in conformity with the newly adjusted Sefer Yetzirah. Rabbi Lamed Ben Clifford used Liber 777 and the Golden Dawn version of correspondences for his teachings and required his students to own a copy and refer to it often. However, while he was happy to initially teach the fundamentals of Kabbalah using the Golden Dawn and 777 correspondences, Ben Clifford refused to dogmatically endorse them, or indeed any particular system or textbook, modern or ancient, or even suggest that one was doctrinally correct, authoritative, or even superior to one another. It was clear from his private drawings of the Tree of Life, not included in this volume, that even Ben Clifford deviated in places from the Golden Dawn 777 correspondences. In fact, once his students had mastered the preliminary degrees of study, he urged them to explore other systems and other ways of looking at everything. As he once wrote to San Francisco socialite and patroness, Philosopheris, truth is bigger than systems. If you can't uncover truth in a flawed system, you won't be able to uncover it in a perfect one. All are correct. All are wrong. Don't worry about it. Learn one and get comfortable with it. When you are fluent in that system, then you'll be able to appreciate the nuances and wonders of others. Just be consistent with the system you are working with you are working while you're working with it. Don't expect multiple systems to properly support each other, and for heaven's sake, don't write me and expect me to validate any of your amazing revelations. I hate that shit. Unquote. Anyway, I want to talk about duality today. I told you that I was going to talk about duality and how it sort of fits in with the development of existence as the Kabbalists see it. The Hebrew alphabet is broken up into three major parts. There are three mother letters, and out of that, all the other letters, the remaining 22 letters, come out of it. And the three mother letters are Aleph, Bet, Aleph, Mem, Shin, but they simply are labels to the great God, three. Okay. And we're talking about creation here, the idea of existence coming into existence. And they see it as an inscrutable, positionless, dimensionless singularity point of view that stretches itself first up and down, and then right and left, and then forward and back, literally creating space. Okay, so we've got those three lines are those three mother letters. But the upness as opposing the downness, and the rightness opposing the leftness, and the frontness opposing the backness, create six dualities, like walls of a cube. See, like that. And that central point and those walls of the cube give us space itself, like a cube. Then, of course, and those walls and that center are the seven double letters. Okay. And that's what we're going to talk about. Or we're going to go through a little trip as if it was an initiation. We could look at those three mother letters as a candelabra, like that, a three-part candelabra. And those three, I hope I didn't lose my place here. Probably did. Those three letters are like those balls. They're in the center of a menorah. And the menorah has a central candle with three candles on either side of it, a total of seven. But there is that central one at the very top, and that's Tav. And the others oppose each other. You can see that they're on opposite ends of a semicircle. And so the ones on the far right and the far left oppose each other. They're dualities. Same goes for the middle and the center semicircle. And that forms a menorah, like a menorah with seven candles, a black one in the center for Saturn and Tav. But anyway, what if we would actually try to experience that creation in a real full-blown initiation ceremony? That's what the Son of Chicken Kabbalah is about. personal self-initiations where you actually experientially undergo the same process of creation, creating itself. Imagine if there's two officers, the honored teacher and the worthy guide. And the honored teacher says in a completely, temple having been properly arranged for the second degree is now completely dark. Worthy guide goes to the altar of incense and ignites the charcoal. And the honored teacher knocks. Even the knocks is that menorah. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3. How peaceful and profound is this darkness absolute. It swallows up even the thought of darkness and light. He goes to the altar and lights the black Saturn candle in the center of the menorah. And at the moment, the temple is now for the moment lit only by this candle. Worthy guide, what is the hour? Honored teacher, it is the silent, dark moment before light expands and shatters into vibrations of color and sound and shifting forms and pairs of opposites. Worthy guide, what is this place? Light in extension, honored teacher. Worthy guide, what is the source of light in extension? Honored teacher, it is hidden. Worthy guide, what God utters the word that shatters the light into vibrations of color and sounds? What God speaks and seals the limits of space and form and time? The number 7, honored teacher, through the agency of the 7 double letters of the Hebrew alphabet. As it is written in the Sefer Yetzirah, there are 7 of which 3 are against 3, and 1 places them in equilibrium. The number 7 seals the limits of space and form and time, and by doing so divides itself against itself to become the God of opposing forces, qualities, and appearances, a God who sleeps and dreams it opposes a devil, a light that sleeps and dreams it opposes darkness. But worthy guide, is not the dream of the number 7 the nature of all phenomena in the dimensional universe we perceive around us? Is it not the nature of objective reality? Indeed it is, honored teacher, if we understand reality to be that which is perceived by someone who is also trapped in the same dream. 7 is phantom life that dreams of death. 7 is a phantom peace that dreams of war. 7 is phantom wisdom that dreams of folly. 7 is phantom wealth that dreams of poverty. 7 is phantom beauty that dreams of ugliness. 7 is phantom fruitfulness that dreams of sterility. 7 is phantom dominion that dreams of slavery. Worthy guide, what do we call this world of duality? Honored teacher, it is called the macrocosm, the greater world, for it casts a great spell. So great a spell, the uninitiated believe the macrocosm to be God and the cosmos, and the unawakened believe it to be heaven. What are the 7 double letters? Bet, Gimel, Daleth, Kaf, Pei, Resh, and Tav. And do these words have meaning? Indeed they do, honored teacher. Beth is a house, and Gimel a camel, Daleth the door, and Kaf the palm of a hand. Pei is the mouth, and Resh is the face, and Tav is a cross or mark that seals the gate of existence from within and without. And what are the duties of the 7 double letters? Beth and Gimel mount the mother letter Aleph and seal infinite above and infinite below. Daleth and Kaf mount the mother letter Mem and seal the infinite east and infinite west. Pei and Resh mount the mother letter Shin and seal infinite north and infinite south. And the letter Tav, what position does Tav hold? What direction does Tav seal? No position, honored teacher, no direction. Tav is the inscrutable source and center of the macrocosm. From Tav burst the rays of the 3 mother letters, whose extension in turn creates above, below, east, west, north, south. Then they give each other the sign of the grade and the secret word of the grade. And the secret word is menorah. The temple is builded, worthy guide, assert if our master of the 3 letters is still determined to become master of 7. And that is an experiential trip through the seven double letters. In the ceremony itself, the lit candle Tav, as they discuss each of these particular letters, the remaining 6, they light a different colored candle representing the planetary spheres. Anyway, that's Kabbalah Thursday for this Kabbalah Thursday. Who knows what next Thursday is going Who knows what tomorrow's going to be? Whatever. I hope this has been sort of helpful to you. And if you're interested and maybe even have the Chicken Kabbalah and you don't have this one yet, I strongly suggest that you do. It's the source of, we actually have mounted these degrees in a full-blown initiatory weekend in the past, and I understand people are doing it all over the world, I think including Finland. Anyway, until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Please try to find that central point of inner and outer peace. We really need it, guys. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.